Hey guys, so today I have an update video for you. I want to go through everything that's been going on behind the scenes, what to expect from me moving forward. This might be a little long, so just to give a quick TLDR, the channel's going to be like 90% VGC moving forward and like 10% TCG. I'll still be talking about TCG topics from, time to time. If there's something going on in the community, I'll do like a talking head video, but I'm pretty much done with any sort of TCG gameplay outside of like tabletop stream matches and stuff like that. But let's just dive into the reasoning, because I know that comes as a shock considering the fact that for the longest time I was kind of doing TCG content on here. I haven't really done VGC content before, and it might just seem weird because I feel like I've gained a lot of subscribers through the TCG content. I don't want to lose you, so please just, watch the video and understand what's going on. It's not like I'm dropping TCG totally, but I've just had a bit of a mindset shift. Let's just dive into why TCG isn't as appealing to me anymore, and I have some notes off to the side because there's a lot of things I want to talk about. As you guys know, I hate scalpers, and I've been vocal about the scalper problem that is in the Pokemon TCG community, how I think it's best to go about fixing this moving forward. Unfortunately, I know TPCI is taking some steps. I know that LGSs are starting to take some steps. It's just not happening at the rate that it needs to keep me in the game. This is not the sole reason why I'm done with TCG. There's a list of reasons, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like everything together has just completely turned me off of the game. But it's kind of hard to get excited for a new set when I have to fight scalpers to get sealed products. So sealed products kind of off the table, but because of that, then singles prices are insanely high. Part of me playing TCG, I'm a collector mostly. I just ended up starting to play it because I said, hey, I'm collecting all these cards, I might as well learn how to play. And I like the social aspect of it as well. But it kind of got to a point where I don't want to have to wait a month to get Journey Together singles. So, like, for example, Journey Together came out. You guys know I made that video about how excited I was for post-rotation. And it took me a month to get my hands on any cards because everything was just insanely expensive. And I'm like, why am I waiting a month to still spend like $15 on a Lily's Clefairy? That's going to be spread into a bunch of different decks. And it's just like, that's just not fun for me. And I know I can make proxies, but like, I don't like playing in proxies, and at locals it gets tough sometimes that some cups don't let you use proxies, and it's just like, I don't know. How do you get excited about that? Is it the biggest deal in the world? No, but it just kind of ruins the excitement. Like, I like ripping a booster box of sealed once per set and then seeing all the cool cards, collecting the art. Can't do that anymore. And I've been talking to a lot of people behind the scenes, and they're telling me that the new MSRP for these booster boxes is just gonna go up. The new MSRP is $160, and I'm like, I can't do that anymore. So at least for that's ruined for me. And I know that Journey Together ended up crashing. I know that after a month or so, people were scalpers were sitting on a bunch of boxes and they couldn't move them, and the prices plummeted. Cool. That was a month and a half into a set. The hype's already dead for me. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really get excited about that kind of thing. So in terms of that, TCG is just kind of done for me. In terms of the gameplay side of TCG and why I've kind of just stopped really playing a lot, not that I played a ton in the first place, but I've been very vocal. I don't like online TCG clients. Nothing personal. I don't like Magic Arena. I don't like these. It's just something about playing a card game online just takes the fun out of it for me. I've always grown up I always grew up rather playing paper TCG, whether it was Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or whatever it was, Digimon. I like that social aspect of and the feel of like drawing a physical piece of card, playing it against your opponent, seeing the reaction. Like, that's always been my favorite thing. And when I can't do that because I can't get singles from my local card stores, or I can't do it because the online client just sucks for Pokemon, it's like, I don't know. For me, I just don't, that doesn't bring any fun and joy to me. So I sit here grinding and like dealing with bugs, or just not being able to like converse with my opponent. I'm trying to get some practice sessions in, but the timer on the client is just so unforgiving, like sometimes I try to sit there with a Discord feed open and I'm trying to talk to my friend and be like, hey, like, what moves should we do in, we're playing against each other, right? And like, we're not cheating in a tournament or anything. It's like, okay, well, what happens if you do, oh shoot, I actually misclicked this, I can't take it back. It's like, I'd rather just do tabletop practice. If I'm gonna play, I might as well do tabletop. So Yeah, that's kind of why I've just slowly stopped doing TCG. You know, I still plan on doing live productions, so let's talk about that. As you guys know, I do a lot of live productions for my local TCG and VGC scene. And I've also been very vocal about this. The problem is that with VGC, as much as I love you guys, I truly do, it's a smaller community than TCG and less players come out to locals, which makes it a little bit more difficult to get good prize pools, to get, you know, locals firing and stuff like that. So unfortunately with VGC, even though I'd actually much rather prefer just to stream VGC, I can't rely on it 100%. So I've also been streaming TCG stuff, and I enjoy streaming TCG as well. Like, let's not get that twisted. I really enjoy doing this stuff for my clients, for my local game stores, interacting with the community, highlighting local players that are very talented, and I want to continue to do that. It's just, it's weird for me because I'm in a spot where, you know, a lot of the stores near me don't really want to invest yet. I had one store that wants to invest in their own equipment. I'll continue working with that store. I just, it's hard for me to pitch the idea to a bunch of different people to invest when the return on this kind of stuff is just not very high. In fact, it's actually really just a money loss. So, I have to most of the time bring around my own equipment, and there's only just so much I can do while doing that and working a full-time job, and I run a side business. So I'm kind of at the point where I will continue to do live productions for big events, cups maybe quarterly, but I don't think I'm going to be going through and doing challenges as much. Funny enough, actually streaming VGC is pretty easy, so that I'm going to also continue doing. But as far as TCG goes, I'm not going to leave you guys in the dust. I'm still going to do it. It's just, you know, I'm not going to be doing it as often, I guess. And one of the things I really enjoyed about TCG was being able to do like post-rotation matches or like an upcoming format. That's always fun to have commentary and have people do that as well. But it's been difficult to, one, get people that are interested in doing it, and then two, finding a place to do it. Because like my house just doesn't have the space. And like I said, up until now, there were no card stores that had a setup going. So now that one has a setup going, I'm going to talk to them and see what we can do. Although I have a feeling they're probably going to want to stream that on their channel, which like totally makes sense to me. So yeah, as far as live production, just to wrap this section up, the live productions are probably going to be on pause on my channel, at least until the next season, because honestly, TCG wraps up in a couple of months. VG wraps up after NAIC. There's going to be local things anyway. So between the burnout and just the unavailability, I might as well just get it, you know, take my break now and then go really hard into it when the next season starts in like August or September. So look forward to that. Now, let's talk about what you're actually going to see on this YouTube channel moving forward, since you're going to be seeing less of the tournament stuff. So I've been playing in 2 VGC draft leagues. So one of them is the Brawlic Moxie Draft League. I think by the time this goes up, actually no, I'm going to post this before the first draft league video goes up. So let's talk about that. So I'm in 2 draft leagues. One of them I'm not sure if I'm going to be posting videos of, because I think it's going to be more of like a learning thing and people are going to be in like chat and stuff. So I'm not sure about that. But for the Brawlic Moxie Draft League, that's an 8 or 10 week season. I'm going to be posting a video every single week. Now, guys, you know, I'm not very good at VGC. In fact, I'm actually worse at VGC than I am at TCG. But my goal with this channel, and just in general, my goal with this channel, is to just improve as a creative, improve as a player. And I set a goal for myself next season. I want to hit 200 CP. So I really want to find a way to get there. And through that, it's going to be doing these draft leagues, learning the game better, right? Finding out how to use new types of strategies, or like lesser known Pokemon, things to crack the meta. Team building, I've learned already so much about team building. So I want to post those draft videos to give you guys like an insight of like, hey guys, I know I stink, but this is why I did what I did. And hopefully you guys will find it fun, because, you know, I'm not very good. So, you know, don't come to my channel if you want to watch good gameplay. Go to like PokeMD if you want to watch a good draft player. But I figured it could be a fun thing. It also keeps me accountable, because I have to produce this content, right? So if I'm producing the content, I have to put the prep time in. I have to play. I have to review my matches. And that just helps keep me accountable to keep doing it. And then also gives you something to enjoy. So I'm going to be doing the draft leagues. I'm going to go back to doing ladder practice, although I don't know how much of it's going to be streamed, how much of it's going to be uploaded. To be honest, I'm not the most entertaining person. I know that. So part of me is like, really, how much do I want to put my practice out there? But that being said, I do want to do a VGC boot camp at some point on Twitch, where for like a week straight, I just grind games online. I think that could be really fun, but I want to have some really cool perks, channel point rewards, and stuff like that. Like I want to make like a system out of it, almost kind of like a subathon. I just have to kind of work that through. So that's coming. I don't know when, and I don't know in what capacity, but it's on the way. As far as podcasts go, so I'm a podcaster. I've been podcasting for a very long time, even though it's been on and off. I have 2 podcasts I'm doing currently, which is Get Blue Shelled with my cousin Ryan and my friend Mike. And that's just a general gaming podcast. We meet every other week and we just talk about games in general. So we'll talk a little bit about Pokemon sometimes, but you know, we like to talk about PlayStation, Xbox, PC gaming, and just kind of everything, any news, any drama. So if you just want a general gaming podcast, check us out, Get Blue Shelled. I believe we do it at 8 p.m. Eastern every other Thursday. Now, every other Thursday, I do Pokeyap with Mr. Moxie Ments, my friend Chris. It's strictly Pokemon, but it's kind of like a mix of like just fun and like banter and kind of like off the rails Pokemon. We try to pick a topic every week, but it's hard for us to stick to it just because we like to yap, hence Pokeyap. So that'll be every other Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So you can catch us there. Those will be on my Twitch, and then I'll also put the Get Blue Shelled on my YouTube, and Pokeyap will go on the Pokeyap YouTube. So just to wrap this all up, what can you expect from this channel moving forward? So I obviously mentioned already some less TCG gameplay, less tournament streams for a short period of time, but I want to just emphasize that my goal with this channel is to improve. You know, my resume is lacking a little bit in terms of some of my editing content. In case you don't know, I'm a professional video editor. I work in television. I don't really do YouTube content, but unfortunately the television industry is in a very bad spot right now, and I don't have the time or the energy to get into all the logistics. But we're basically at a spot where TV is no longer 100% sustainable if you don't have work constantly. And so, you know, constantly I'm going through periods of like not having work for 2 to 3 months. And you know, while I'm very grateful for the work that I do get, sometimes it's, you know, I need to find a way to supplement it. And I don't know if I want to find a way to supplement it necessarily through this specific YouTube channel, because I just don't think this will ever get to that point. If it does, then I'll cross that bridge. But I want to build up my resume so I can start applying for other jobs and maybe pulling in some side work with other bigger YouTubers or something like that. So I figured what better way to do that than to use my own YouTube channel. So you should expect higher quality content on average. The Draft League videos, the first one that I post, I didn't have a lot of time to do it. So that one, you know, give that one a pass. But week 2, I just finished it up. It is really good. It's like probably the best Pokemon video I've ever done. If you like Wolfie videos, you will like this one. I think that's going to be like my standard moving forward, at least with the Draft League videos. And I want to do some more content like that. It's just that, you know, those highly edited things take a long time to do. So I'm going to try to maybe post less, but post higher quality. We'll see. I'm still going to do those talking head videos because they do really well, like stuff like this, whether I just pick a topic and talk about it on my live stream or specifically for YouTube. So, you know, drama, stuff like that. I love that. You guys know that. So we'll still be doing that kind of stuff. Anything that happens in the community. I don't like the drama that's like petty, but you know, if we're talking about scalpers or something like that, I'll give you my opinion on that. But like I said too, so the other part is I want to improve my editing, but I also want to improve as a player. I've gotten to the point where I understand the basics of TCG and the basics of VG, but because I never really picked one to just focus on, and I never really had friends in these scenes when I first started trying to learn it, now that I have friends that I can like build with or ask questions or run practice matches with, the game is just way more fun. So my goal is I'm just going to play more VGC. I want to get better. I want to use the YouTube channel to hold me accountable to do that. Because I really want to get those championship points for the Ishigina rewards. I think that 200 CP is a high bar for me, considering I think I've actually never, I think I had two championship points or 3 championship points ever in VG. So, and it was because it was a 4-person cup and I came in like 3rd. So yeah, that's definitely a goal. And I want to keep up with the TCG community. Let me just be clear. I want to keep up loosely with the meta, with what's going on with the different sets, the new cards. I'm in a lot of community circles that it's very easy for me to do this at least a very casual level. I may not know, you know, all of the best combos or what the best deck is, but I will know, hey, this is what's popular. This is what people are saying. These are the new cards coming out. And, you know, I'm never going to innovate, but at least I can keep up with it enough to be able to produce the content that I need to produce anyway. So I'll be doing that. As far as streaming goes, I am gonna have some more time where I can stream. I just don't know if I want to do it consistently outside of the podcast, because like I said, I want to focus a little bit on the editing, but I do plan to continue streaming, getting back into it. The last few weeks have just been like hell in terms of my schedule. It's been great. I've been having a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but like I was on vacation, I had a wedding, then I had some other side work that I had to finish up. So it's like, honestly, I overbooked myself too much. I took 6 gigs in 1 month that never again will happen. I like money, but I had no time. So anyway, moving forward, I'm kind of moving into like the next chapter of like, okay, the busyness is out. I have a month or 2 break where I can focus on doing this, and then after that we get busy again. So anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. If you have any questions, obviously leave it down in the description below. Hopefully that kind of answers everything and you have an idea of what to expect moving forward. Because, you know, I don't really love making a ton of update videos, but I haven't really done one in a while. And now that we're going into the next season, or actually we're not, because that's not until like August or September. So let me rephrase that. Now that we're wrapping up, you know, the 2025 season, I'm starting to look at the 2026 season and see what I want to do. So I figured, let me put it out there. If it sticks, great. If not, then you can call me out. So there you go. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the draft video. Please check it out. Please at least wait until week 2 to judge the series, because I promise you week 2 is like significantly better. It's even a better match. Like, it's a three game match. It literally comes down to like a turn or 2. So it's a nail biter. But yeah, I will see you in the next video.